Hi guys, this is Neil. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today I won't be doing a painting tutorial, but I decided to paint something that's a bit more detailed and a fun subject matter to celebrate 100k subscribers. So not too long ago, I was searching for ideas on Pinterest, and I like looking at garden pictures and things like that because they're pretty, and a picture of a fairy garden in a teacup popped up in my feed, and I thought it was just the cutest thing. And I know that I don't usually do complicated paintings on YouTube, but I decided to add this one because I think it's something that you guys would also enjoy just from getting to know you and reading the comment sections. I know that a lot of you are into cute, whimsical things, and I know you guys like gardens and plants because I paint that a lot, and I think that this is just a combination of all, including the fall theme with the little mushrooms. So I just thought that this will be a great subject matter to share with you guys, and I also think that it'll be really cool if you guys can create your own and paint along with me, which is why I've made this video a little bit longer than usual, and I hope you guys don't mind. If you don't want to draw your own, I'll also leave the image of the line art in my Ko-fi page that you can download for a limited time. And this is only for personal use, so this means you can post it on your social media along with a mention of credit if you decide to trace or copy from the original image only. I always prefer it when people mention instead of tagging on the image on Instagram because I can see it better on my feed, and it's more likely for me to be able to leave a like and maybe a comment. With tags, unfortunately, it's usually a bit smaller. It usually takes one line on the feed, same as likes, so it's easier for me to miss. I don't usually do this because it does take extra time on top of the tutorials that I make weekly. I especially made the outline for you guys to use. I usually do this with Skillshare only for my classes as part of the package, but I wanted to add a little something to give back to you guys, so I'm going to leave the line art until the end of the month on my Ko-fi page. And for those of you who would like to color your own and paint with me, or even use your own medium of choice, you can also use the hashtag #LookNyanyanyi. Do you guys get it? It says look nyanyanyi, look as in LOOK, and it also looks like 100k. I thought that was clever. I don't even know if it has been done before, but I thought it's original. But yeah, so I'll feature your works with this hashtag at the end of the month, and depending on the submissions, I might turn it into a video all in its own. If not, I'll just combine it with my tutorial videos depending on the amount of submissions. Because I need time to compile the artworks, the submission time will be closed on the 25th of October on Sunday. So if you would like your art to be featured on my video at the end of the month, please submit your work before the given date. But you can also check out the details in the description box for a bit more clarity if this isn't clear enough. I don't even know if this is going to work or not, or if anyone is going to even submit any work, but let's just give this a go and see. I mean, it'll just be just a fun activity outside of my usual art tutorials. I just think that it'll be a little fun painting session for us as a community, and I think it'll be really fun to combine all our works in a video just to see the differences in style or even composition if you decide to only take the subject matter and create your own teacup fairy garden. I think that'll look really cool, so I hope you guys participate in it. So yeah, We've finally reached 100,000 subscribers. What a big milestone. I didn't even think that this was possible when I started this channel, considering what I make isn't something that would likely go viral. But here we are, and I wouldn't have been able to get here without all of your support. And for all of you who are subscribed to me, including all of the silent viewers, I'm so happy to have been able to share my paintings with you and even get to know some of you in a more personal level. I know that maybe compared to other channels, 100k is kind of nothing. It's still considered as a small channel, especially nowadays where people can reach 1 million so quickly. But I think it's still really cool that there's 100,000 of you guys who actually are willing or were willing to click subscribe. I know that I don't easily do that, so I really appreciate you guys who are genuinely interested in my painting and like to tune in to my videos, and I just hope to be able to keep posting more art and more painting tutorials or any other thing that I like doing. I think with social media these days, it's easy to always want more and the numbers are never enough. But if you actually think about it, 100,000 people in real life, if they all gather together, that's a lot. And that's such an amazing thought. So I would just like to thank you guys for wanting to be a part of this. And I hope that I can keep making more videos and keep you guys inspired for painting ideas and for you guys to even learn something new. Initially, when I made this channel, I had the intention of just sharing my art and see the feedback from other people. It was kind of like a meh, yeah, we'll see what happens sort of thing. I mentioned this in my first Q&A before that I started this channel because I was at a point in my life where I needed to change paths. I tried so many things and jumped from different types of work. After graduating uni to working full-time in a country where I was quite unfamiliar with the culture, even though I was born here in Indonesia, but I grew up in Australia, as a lot of you know. Then I worked as a full-time graphic designer, but I really didn't enjoy it. I think the working condition, though maybe in terms of Indonesian offices, is actually pretty good, but it's nowhere near the work environment that I was ready for. I just felt like I wasn't growing as a designer because we were just constantly given client work, but I didn't really feel like I got feedback. The feedback was only just to make it better, which is not something that I was used to. I was used to getting proper art direction. So it was also a learning curve, but it's an experience nonetheless. And it's a good experience to have to just see what a working environment is like. I think I was mostly shocked about the salary though, despite it being a professional job which you went to university for. I didn't think the compensation suits the amount of work at all. We worked the usual 9 to 5 plus the crazy Jakarta traffic. I was in the car for around 4 hours a day to and from, and at times it even took me maybe around 3 hours to get home depending on traffic. And this is only 11 kilometers away, by the way, and in the first few months I worked overtime from 9 a.m. to around 8 p.m. or to 9 p.m. almost every day that month. And when they said they were going to give me overtime payment, I was quite shocked because I thought I wasn't gonna get paid. And I was excited for a while until they gave me a whopping equivalent to 67 US cents for a whole month of overtime. And I didn't know if I should be annoyed or laugh. Like, I don't know. I didn't know how to react, basically. I remember just messaging my friends saying, I got overtime payment. Guess how much I got? Guess how much I got? And people were like, I don't know how many $100. And I'm like, no, you're very far. And they said, oh, more than that? And I'm like, no, lower, lower, lower. And people just started laughing when they heard how much I got. But you know, that's the norm here. And I also think that it's good to know the kinds of work that people do. I mean, this was years ago, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, especially in this kind of time. But you know, you can't really make a living off a monthly payment that's equivalent to $167.80 as a professional graphic designer. But my parents told me to just do it for the sake of work experience, and that's very true because the experience itself is priceless, both the good and the bad. And my parents value that more than me having tons of money because they can still support me and stuff. And that's basically kind of normal here, to only move out of your parents' house once you're married. Even with professional jobs, it's really not an easy city to live in if you know the condition of a lot of people here. And after around 5 years, since the office kept moving further and further away from my house and with bad traffic, I decided that it was time to stop and try something else. So I baked cakes and I also did music, but I was still unable to support myself. So while doing that, I decided to go back to what I know is my thing since childhood, which is art. And I posted my floral bookmarks 3 years ago that I painted as my first video while still doing music. And I remember I was quite confused that I had over 100 views despite not telling anyone about the video. And I just thought, did someone leak this? But who? And then I looked at the stats and I was like, wait, I don't know people from that country or that country. And that's where I realized that, maybe people are interested. So I tried making more videos and I tried to make it more of a regular thing. And from there, I never knew that I would get to this point. And despite still living with my parents, I'm able to support myself more with doing something that I love since childhood. And that thought, even now, is still quite unbelievable for me. On top of that, I find that YouTube is so much more fulfilling. I get to know you guys, I get to share my story, and I get to share my art. But the best thing is when I read your comments about you learning something from the video or getting inspired to paint. I've even had several comments where some of you haven't picked up your paints for over a decade and felt inspired to paint again, or even to try painting for the first time. I know that art isn't easily accessible for everyone, and sometimes people don't know where to start, which is why I want to focus more on the fun and easy stuff for YouTube, with the odd ones out from time to time like this. And I want art to not just be a profession, but also something that's a bit more fun and casual for everyone. And overall, I just think that that's so much more fulfilling compared to breaking down briefs for clients. Well, for me anyway. I know that different people are passionate about different things, but I just feel like this makes a bit more of an impact, and I'm just really grateful for this platform. Oh, and one thing that I want to mention, not to break your imagination or anything, and this is totally random, but since I get so many comments about my voice being relaxing to listen to, guys, please don't be fooled, and I hope I'm not fooling you, but I'm really rowdy and loud and very annoying in real life, especially if I get close to people. The reason why I talk like this is because I'm using an inbuilt mic from my computer, and if I change the dynamic range of my voice from this to my usual rowdy voice, it's going to break and it's not going to sound nice in your ears. It's going to be a bit painful. But despite being rowdy, when I paint, I always like a calming and relaxing environment with soft music and maybe with some background noise like soft rain or some soft water noise, which is why I make my videos this way, since I'm just trying to recreate that relaxing environment that I like. But yeah, I just don't want to create expectations for myself. It's not me. I'm not a calm person. It's just the environment that I like to be in when I paint. So there are layers of me, just like onions, as Shrek said. I guess I've also had comments about my voice being too low and annoying to listen to, so I guess to each their own. I'm sorry this suddenly became very random, and yeah, I guess this also became the extension of my Q&A about how I started YouTube. I hope you guys don't mind me talking a bit in some of my videos, and I hope you're still able to enjoy the painting and find it relaxing to watch. So I'll stop talking here and hopefully you'll get to enjoy the painting. I tried to include some background sounds of me painting because I thought that it would make the painting atmosphere more convincing, but it's a bit hard since the neighbors are building a house, and I also breathe like Brainy from Hey Arnold. If any of you recognize that character, virtual cookie points for you. Anyway, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this and I'll get back to you at the end. Hello again! I hope you guys are still here and enjoying the painting process so far. I'm not sure if you guys enjoy these types of more of a talking video once in a while, but just let me know in the comment section. Here I'm almost done with the painting, and from here on I'm just jumping around to add details. I wanted to put some gold paint on the strips, but I couldn't be bothered looking for my gold paint and it wasn't on my table, so I just painted it with my normal watercolors, and it's not as fun, but I think in the end the effect was convincing enough. I'm not too sure. I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, it's a bit wonky, but I think for what it is and with the size and things like that, it's alright. After I finish painting the whole thing, I usually look around for things such as value, because for these types of crowded paintings, the subjects can easily get lost with the rest of the elements. So the final steps would be to figure out a way of using values and layering darker colors to help those elements pop out a little bit more, just like the mushrooms and things. I like to put darker colors of the green so the stems are a bit more visible. And this might vary from different artists or different painters. It's just my way of painting, and it's how I sort of look at my painting and try to finalize it at the end. And yeah, please don't forget to submit your work if you want your painting to be featured. There are no rules for this except for the usage of the line art and of course the limited time for download, but you can make your own composition or use any medium that you like. You can even blow up the painting to a larger size, because this is quite small and I am only painting it on my tiny sketchbook. So maybe you can even turn it into some artwork that you can hang as home decor. Like usual, I'll leave all of the details in the description box along with the tools that I used and my social media links. I can't wait to see your works and to compile them all together. I hope you guys don't mind that this isn't a tutorial video, and I hope it's low enough to be used as reference for you guys if you want to paint along to this. Anyway, this is the finished painting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. Can't wait to see your works, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!